जाए भी अकेला, 2 दिन की जिंदगी है, 2 दिन का मेला। Oh
Vishnu Shankha Chakra Grada Apo Pundari Kaksha Preto Gati Samudbhava Om Swaste Prajabhya Paripalayantam Yayena Margena Mahim Mahishaha Go Brahmanabhya Shomastu Nityam Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu Me Devadano Sambale Madhyamani Mahodare Utpano Sri Araya Kumbha Mritritro Vishnuna Swayam Om Yathabana Praharanam Kauchavaranam Bhavidyatade Upagatanam Shantir Bhavati Bharata Bolo Sri Mahavishnu Bhagavan Ki Jai. Those who wish to take a seat can take a seat. So let me say Swagatam and welcome to everyone that is gathered here this morning. We all know that the occasion is not a pleasant one. But as the Holy Text reminds all of us, for one year's birth, death is certain. Most of all, if not everyone, in our mind, we already think to ourselves, while your brain is clicking, so much things, so much thought wave will enter the mind, but hardly anyone will think about, I wonder if I'll get to see tomorrow. I wonder if I'll get to see the next moment, the next minute. None of us will think that way. And we have maybe a way of thinking that death is far away from us. And maybe when I get old and I cannot see good and thing and I cannot walk, then my death might come knocking at my door. And whilst we think that way, every moment of our life we see someone leaving the earth in the form of death. Death is an excuse for the soul to leave from the body. And from childhood to old age, death can strike any moment. We might feel and say, you think about a friend or you think about someone, and it's only maybe when you get the news or you hear, then you say, it becomes like what we normally say a shock to us. Because I have, upon it for over 40 years, I have realized that you don't have to get sick to leave the earth. Or sometimes you might feel a person in the hospital or they are not well or they are sick, and you say, well, God, Bhagavan, you knows what is best. But none of us know. I can go to sleep tonight and you'll never hear about me again tomorrow, that is the end of it. I may not get back. None of us know. And that is what death is. But understand that death is an opportunity for the soul to return to its maker, to its real home. When we feel that this is our real home, we are just guests here. We are just spending some time here. And we grow in this world, and we build, and we secure, and we provide. And I say this is mine, and that is mine, my car is mine, my family is mine, my wealth is mine, my land is mine, my house is mine, my body is mine. But then I realize what is really mine. What is really mine, and what is yours? Even this body that I have, that I take care of, is not mine. I am just the caretaker of it. I am just the keeper of it. And the moment and the time will come when we'll have to give it up. And if you don't give it up, it will give you up one day to come. And that is what death is. Today, as we are gathered here to celebrate the life and to do our anteshti. Anteshti means the final rites for the departed one. Maybe he is very blessed that so much funeral I do like this, and you never see what is inside the box, and you all are lucky that you could still see face for the last. You had to watch a pitié to see what you are doing and for who you are doing it for. And that is why recently they had a mix-up with this thing too. So that blessed is that you all And I'm sure it will because a little more for you to do this, for you to see the face, to know who you are doing and what you are doing it, for whom. So that the Antishti Sanskar is a small rites that we do for the departed one, to make sure that we send off in a religious way, in a decent way, in a proper way. So that as we are about to commence our sanskar, our part here, and after I do this, then we'll have a viewing. Those who wish to come and view will do that after. So very firstly, the main person who will be doing it, taking water. Take water here. And just put the right arm. Stand up right. Okay, let's touch his hands. Right arm. Let's touch his hands. There will be no social distance, but on this occasion you have to join together and do Mangalasture Udan Mahakaryana Paramatmaya Namaha Guru Shaiveda Guru Sarva Yat Bhutaya Chabhyam. After the water, you will place the Shamsa. Guru Shaiveda Guru Sarva Yat Bhutaya Chabhyam Mangalasture Udan Mahakaryana Shanti Namaha. When he passed on, that was the final day of Panchak. So we are still doing the Panchak Vidhi, although it is not Panchak. But when the soul leaves the body, that day was Panchak with the sun. After the Panchak Vidhi. Om Vishnu Paramatma Sri Purana Purushottama Vishnu Ragye Vartamanasya Brahmanu Viki Parai Shri Sri Jabahakalpi Vayotanam Mantriyashtra Vishnu Kalyuge Kale Uttama Chandne Guru Loke Chandadi Shepina Nagare Mahavishnu Prajapati Chetri Karte Adhyamke Budvar Adhyamke Gotrasya Pitarmuke. This is name. Yanamasya Mangalasture Ajamke Gotrasya Pitarmuke Pretaha Dingula Parano Sri Panchak Smaran Vidhi Pratishtita. Guru Shaiveda Guru Sarva Yat Bhutaya Chabhyam. Kalyan Jai Krishna Hare Sri Krishna Hare Dukhiyo Dukha Dur Hare Jaya 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 Krishna Hare Jab Char Taraf Niyara Ho Asha Karun Kinara Ho Aur koi na kevan hara ho Fir tu hi mera paar karo Jaya 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 Krishna Hare Jai Krishna Hare Sri Krishna Hare Dukhiyo ko dukha dur kare Jaya 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 Krishna Hare Jaya 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 Om Mangalasudeva Ganam Ganam Saitan stay right there. Ajayam ke gotrasya deepasya mayadhyate Chaho pratishtata means this life. Remove all darkness of difficulties of the journey to be successful. Mangalasudeva Maharaya Krishna Om Ajayam ke gotrasya menaram ke pretaha Hingula pararo deepasya mayadhyate Chaho pratishtata Mangalasudeva Om Sonadam Mahakalyanam Om Jamuke Gotrasya Pitaram Kipre Hingula Parano Mangalasudeva Mahakalyanam Paramatma Namaha Dino Asmin Yathadehe Kaumanam Yavanam Sadaha Tadhare Hantara Prapira Dhirastratranam Hiyakti Matra Svarshastu Kauryam बोलो श्री महाविष्णु भगवान की जय बैठ जाइए और कुछ की सीट और विष्णु से once again on behalf of the family of the Dulahin and the daughter Swagatam and welcome to everyone that is here. Well, is a good person and that's what you could say for all of us. I always tell people I don't want to be the best, I just want to be good. And I try through the grace of God to do that. So I know it's a sad occasion and not much I could say to the family, but I'll tell you, death is an excuse for the soul to leave the body, and however it had to happen, it will. I give everybody my experience, one experience I had in my life many years ago. I had a friend of mine who was very close, me and he was very close. And this fellow was such a devoted person. He would not even drink water without taking the name of God. And one day while I was coming from work, I see a traffic on the highway, and I came out to say accident. And when I came out and I watched the car, I say, wait, I know this fella. The car was familiar, but I couldn't click because I couldn't remember the number. And I watched it, and when I came there, you know what I saw? People were scraping up pieces of his body, parts, and putting it in a box. And I leave from there coming home and I was thinking, I said, look at how this fella lived his life. I was not so maybe religious as him. I know the kind of person he was and look at how he had to live. And that had me confused until I realized it's not how you die is important, but it's how you live your life. Death is just an excuse. When the time comes for death, none of us will know how we have to leave the earth. None of us will know. Whether I will have to leave by a bullet, or whether by water, or whatever, however I will have to leave. But that's not important to me. What is important is while I have my life, I try to live a good life. And that is important. Because when the time comes like this, and you will give up everything, karma pradana vishwa karidaka, that will determine what is going to happen to you. So may the grace, the darshan, the blessings of the divine be upon the soul and lead that soul from death unto immortality. Join your hands in prayer. Before we do the viewing part, we do the shanti part. Then we'll have the viewing part. Then you all will take your leave from here to the cemetery. I'll do everything here. So there, when you reach here, it's just I talk to the driver already, so he will know to put down the body and then all the rest cover it. That's all you have to do. Let us pray. Om Jau Shanti Rantariksha Gwang Shanti Prativi Shanti Rapa Shanti Aushade Shanti Varaspada Shanti Vishwadev Shanti Brahma Shanti Sarvagwan Shanti Dev Shanti Sama Shanti Vidhitu Shanti Bhavato Rakshakaro Hari Om Tat Sat Hari Om Tat Sat Hari Om Tat Sat Namaha Tvameva Mata Chapita Tvameva Tvameva Bandhuscha Sakha Tvameva Vidya Dravinan. Right, so we had a viewing time, but before we do the viewing time, they will have the eulogy, and after the eulogy, then they'll give flowers and whatnot you have, and they will do that, and then they will take the leave from here, where they will go to do the final burial. Some way, Jai Jai, Sita, who want to do the eulogy? Come on.
Sit around, everybody. We are here this morning to celebrate the life of our son, our brother, our husband, our friend, our uncle, and not to mention our real dog, Ian Obra. Ian was the second son to Gloria and the late Ivan Obra, husband of Indra and the father of Jade. He was the brother of Roger and the brother-in-law of Michelle, adopted son of Tanti Dudu and all of the Ougrah siblings, best friend of Hashim, Ras, Karen, and Kedar, and too many for me to mention in this short speech. Not forgetting his special two four-legged children, Alfie and Dixie. Ian Obra, aka Bunga, Lou/Louis, was born on the 31st of March 1978. But we all knew that Auntie Gloria lied about that, because the date he was actually born was the 1st of April. And Indra never let him forget that he was an All Fools child. Ian went to Princestown Presbyterian No. 1 School, and then to Williamsville Secondary School, and finally to Princestown Secondary, where the dog actually studied tailoring. None of us knew that, because as far as I know, he can't sew nothing. But you know what he graduated in? He graduated in a degree in giving the great Joe Sergio the most trouble ever in that school. After which he worked in a machine shop, which was just across the road from the house that he grew up in. But just imagine, when Ian worked late, imagine the boss man had to drop him home in his car, and the boy living right across the road, you know. And if you think that was bad, when Ian started working currently as a laborer, Uncle Ivan, his dad, used to have to go and help him cut the cane and bundle it up for him every single day. Eventually, Ian settled into the Coca-Cola family for approximately 20 years, which he started off as a merchandiser and then was promoted to an ICE coordinator till his last days. He enjoyed his job, getting the opportunity to drive around the country and meeting new people every day. This was his calling. Nobody ever could buy anything other than a Coke whenever he was around. He made it a point to tell you that we were not supporting his company. Ian was popular in the village, within the family, and his extremely large circle of friends. He was the glue that held this family together. His contagious laugh and silly ways will always be remembered, not forgetting his funky dance moves. No party was ever complete without Ian jumping in the circle and to pull out his unique dance styles. For example, the toothbrush, the crowbar, the pat the dog, and of course, everyone knew that he was the absolute best headbanger, as he, Indra, and I would never miss a single beautiful rock concert held here in Trinidad and Tobago. I will always remember the day we went to Pier 1 and we got drunk that night for free to the music of Bryan Adams and Survivor. Man, those days will be missed. Rock on, Leon, rock on. It was no secret that Ian was spoiled by both his mom and dad. Don't let his size fool you, Ian was really a big baby in disguise. Auntie Glory went even as far as to shred Ian's meat for him whenever he came home from work, just to ensure that he didn't choke on any bones. She would call him all the time whenever he was out, making sure that Ian was safe. Ian's older brother, Roger, was also a solid rock in his life. When Ian went through his health issues recently, Roger and Michelle were standing with Indra through it all. Roger's strength to all of this is a great admiration to us all. Ian will have been so happy for all of your efforts that you have done. Ian was well known and always recognized for his trademark bald head. But today I'll let you all in a little secret. That baldness wasn't always his trademark. In fact, he came about it quite by mistake when the dog decided that he wanted to try a perm in his hair. Well, let me tell you all something. That perm experiment went real wrong. To this day, the dog never had a drop of hair back growing on his head. Not one. Another trait that Ian would always be remembered for was his passion for cars and his expensive collection of Hot Wheels. But this collection was not always in vain, as he always sold back his very rare pieces at a very hefty profit. His ride was never dirty inside or out. You were able to make out his car from a distance, and if we didn't see it, you would have definitely heard it, if you all know what I mean. This happy, carefree, fun-loving attitude continued when he found a partner that matched his craziness. Indra and Ian started dating in 2004 and have been inseparable since then. They worked together through sickness and health to build a beautiful life together, which became even better with the arrival of their daughter, Jade. Ian was the most devoted father and husband a person could have ever asked for, going out of his way to ensure that both Indra and Jade had everything that their heart desired. Just like Ian was spoiled by his parents, is the same way that he spoiled Jade. He lovingly called her Pops, and she was the best thing that could have ever happened to Ian. He was ecstatic to be a father, and he embraced that fatherly role. There was no way that Indra could have buffed Jade without Ian saying, "Leave the child now." Jade knew that she had Ian wrapped around her fingers, but she never took advantage of it. She still became the humble, loving, friendly child, following in her father's footsteps as a social butterfly, just as Ian was. Don't worry, Ian. Jade will be taken care of. That is our promise to you today. Blessed is an understatement for all of us here who have had the honor of knowing Ida. Thank you, Auntie Glory. Thank you for bringing him into this world, and thank you for sharing him with us. We know today that you would find comfort in knowing that Ian is going to meet Uncle Ivan at Heaven's Gate. We know that we can never replace Ian, and he will never ever be forgotten. He will always be remembered, and his legacy will forever live on, as Jade is a constant reminder to us of that. P.S. Ian, when you get there, I hope that you and Simi continue to dance. Thank you. We have a little letter that we would like to share on behalf of Jade.
So we thank you for the eulogy, and I will take my leave, but before I leave, after this, then we'll have the viewing, everybody. We only have a few minutes again, as I was told, here, and so you'll have the viewing with the flowers and so on, those who wish to come after, and we'll do that, and then they'll take the leave from here to where they'll do the final part. So may the grace, know the occasion is not a pleasant one. I'm pleased to be here this morning and to offer prayer together with you all for the soul of the departed one. May the darshan and the blessings of Bhagwan continue to be upon his soul and lead that Atman from death unto immortality. Sab koi jai jai, Sitaram. After she, if anyone wish to say anything, you're free while they do the viewing to say a few words if anyone here wish to do that. And then we'll take our leave.
Hello everyone, I'm reading on behalf of Jade. Hi Daddy, I'm writing for not only me, but the dogs also. Dixie and Alfie. Dixie, Alfie and I will miss you. Hope you like the Hot Wheel I chose for you. It reminds me of the old silver car you had but cooler. Dixie and Alfie say hi. They miss you and they love the food you made for them. Was that you who came in my room and interfered with the Christmas tree? Also, can you tell Simmy and Papa hi for all of us? Anyways, that's all I wanted to tell you. We all miss you. Bye, love you. From Jade, Dixie, and Alfie.
I think we have a representative from Ian's company, Coca-Cola, to just say a few words.
Hi, Sitaram, everybody. Just wanted to say on behalf of the Coca-Cola company to the family and friends of Ian, condolences. We know this is a very hard and trying time for the family. However, Ian was also part of a family, another family, and that is the Coca-Cola family. Ian started working Coca-Cola a little while ago, just around 13 years, over 13 years or so. Started as a merchandiser in the merchandising department and really excelled. You know, we never had any complaints, any issues with Ian. Always did his job to the best, which is synonymous with the character and how he is. You know, I never heard once Ian upset, Ian raised his voice, Ian whatever, you know. Always did his job to the best. And because of that and because of his dedication to the job and the love he had for the Coca-Cola itself and all the employees, I mean, Ian moved his way up out of merchandising and into ICE coordinator position, which is a promotion he got, which was a little, probably just over 10 years. Ian was in that position. And again, you know, every time you call on Ian to represent Ian, we need this done, pull him out from his regular job to do something else on a project. Always willing, always helpful, you know, and when we got this news, I mean, the entire organization was broken up because almost everybody knew Ian. Why? We had a lot of company events. Ever so often we would have company events, and bet your dollar, first person on the list, always going, Ian is going to be there. And to show the love he had, he never came by himself. He always brought his wife and daughter with him when he could. And they were part of the Coca-Cola family as well. So I understand, I know this is a very hard time. I know you all are hurting. We are too. So Ian, you will be missed by the Coca-Cola family. I mean, everybody is still in disbelief. If we could say one thing to you, Ian, I guess it would be fly high. And you will be missed dearly. Again, condolences to the family, and yeah, may God give you all strength. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. I am Roger, Ian's bigger brother, but they're not in size, all right? It's really shocking to us as to what had happened in just a matter of days, you know? And I still think we can't believe what has happened to him and where he is. All right, and it's hard for us, you know. And I'd like to tell you he was a really nice little child. When he was little, he's 4 years younger than me. I remember him growing up, and he had little curly hair, right? And actually, Jade got that curly hair when she was growing up, you know. And I remember my father was the barber for both of us to cut our hair, right? I don't know how it is that my father ended up with all the hair, and we got bald head afterwards. Right? And I remember the first time we ever cut his hair with these little curls. I was little as well, and they cut all the curls, and you know, I picked it up and whatnot. And the thing is that the time him and I spent together was actually when we were little. We used to play together with these little cars and run around the houses where we used to stay by Tanti. We grew up, and probably when we, you know, I remember going primary school with him, and one of the teachers says, "Is this your little brother?" I said, "Yes," because he's seen the resemblance back then between us. And you know, I used to actually send him in the maxi taxi back home, and I used to walk home with my friends. Right? And eventually I passed common entrance and moved on and left him there, and I think that's when we probably started to probably go our own separate ways sometime, because you have your own friends and whatnot. Okay, so that's probably the best time we actually spent together. And now the last time I get to spend with him really was taking him to the hospital, you know. And I just went there and stand up outside the hospital, you know, just for him to know I'm outside. You know, I don't know what pain you're feeling, right? And I just don't even want to think sometimes of, you know, what's going through your mind, right? You're having problems to breathe and all these things, okay? And that still pains me, right? But one thing I'll tell you, you go to Dad, and he will take care of you. And I will stay with Mom and take care of her. Right? You go and meet Tony, because Tony really liked you. Okay? And everybody else. Right? And say hello to them for us. Okay? Because I know you are a wonderful guy. Over the past few days, the amount of condolences we've received, it's unbelievable. The amount of people shocked and they are saddened by this whole thing. And I think a lot of people are still in disbelief as to what has happened to you, right? And your life was basically just snatched away from us, okay? So, I know there are many people who are your friends. You probably have more friends than I would ever have in my lifetime, right? You would always go and check every single family member whenever you're in their area, right? You will walk the village and you will meet and greet people, okay? Everybody know you, and they know your signature look with your jersey and your cap backwards. That's how I had to describe that. A man says, the guy who wears his cap backwards and drives that white car, I said, yes, that's the guy. And that's how they know you. That's your signature look. All right? And then he had his signature dance, the Silent Morning. Right? He could have really danced that song. And I probably looked at that video quite a few times over the last few days. All right? Thank God for my last birthday that you had some time to spend some moments where we actually danced that song together. Okay? And it's a pity. Going forward now, Christmas will never be the same for us again. New Year's will never be the same. Okay? I'm probably glad there's a burial because I'll always have something to remember you by. Okay? So I have something to say on behalf of the Ramsudar family. They sent it to me and I said I'll read it out to you all. So it was sent by Darren. So it comes from your friends Darren, Nyron, Worm, and their in-laws, mother and father. So it says, it's a sad day today to say goodbye to one of our family's closest friend and brother. Today is not a day we would have thought to be dealing with a week ago. Ian was a friend, a brother, and a son to our family. We grew up together in the village where all families were part of the sugar industry, where monies and splurging were not what we knew. That made the bond a lifetime, appreciating the little we had and doing everything together: cricket, football, hunting, fishing, and of course doing the odd jobs around the village to go to high RPM on Saturday to see Louis dance silent morning on Saturday night. Fast forward a few years later, we started working and started our own families, but that never affected the bond we created from our childhood. We all met up on every occasion with the big team we created where high RPM is a thing of the past, but the time seeing each other, laughing, cooking, and telling stories was so much more important. I can go on and on with all our stories, but those will stay with us. Our last moment with Louis was on Boxing Day. It was a blast. We laughed and enjoyed watching the old Mastana Bahar videos he was sharing. Didn't think for a moment it would be the last. He would always be part of our family and live in our hearts forever as a friend, brother, and a son. You will be missed, Louis, from the Ramsudar family. So in closing, I want to thank everybody who sent their condolences, supported us from the beginning to the end, which was just a very, very short period, okay? And I'd just like to say that, thankfully, he did leave a legacy of my mother and father in the form of Jade. So she would always be the little precious one, all right? And you actually left 3 persons for us, 1 person and 2 dogs for us to look after, okay? Those dogs would just smell his scent and run from the back of the house to the front just to look for him, right? I remember seeing him around Jade, and that's, he would say pumpkin, and call her that way, all right? So rest assured, she will grow up to what you aspire for her. I will ensure that. So goodbye, my brother. Go see my father, and he will continue to be with you and take care of you. Thanks, everyone.
Anybody else have any other news? So then we'll start the video. Yeah.
हजारों से तारों ने पूछा हजारों से सबसे प्यारा कौन है पापा मेरे पापा पापा तेरे पापा मेरे पापा भी दोस्त हैं
आता हूँ बैठेगा मैं
चंदा ने पूछा तारों से तारों ने पूछा हजारों से सबसे प्यारा कौन है पापा मेरे पापा पापा मेरे पापा चंदा ने पूछा तारों से तारों ने पूछा हजारों से सबसे प्यारा कौन है पापा मेरे पापा पापा मेरे पापा पापा मेरे
नहीं, ऐसे नहीं होते। मैं हूं ना आपके साथ।
चंदा ने पूछा तारों से तारों ने पूछा हजारों से चंदा ने पूछा तारों से तारों ने पूछा हजारों से सबसे प्यारा कौन है
The boy go come and open.
Ian, what does it play you on music? Rock it out in the car. Rock it out in the car.
Anything you have there, let it go.
Yeah, let it go by the box now. Let it all come. Things to come out to the thing. See my game. No more booga. No more. Come on. Yeah.
I was inside my line from long here. Yeah, I knew when she was
Thank
पिंजरे के पंछी रे तेरा दर्द न जाने कोई, तेरा दर्द न जाने कोई। बाहर से तू खामोश रहे तू, बाहर से तू खामोश रहे तू, भीतर भीतर रोए रे, भीतर भीतर रोए, तेरा दर्द न जाने कोई। कह न सके तू अपनी कहानी, तेरी भी पंछी क्या कहानी है। कह न सके तू अपनी कहानी, तेरी भी पंछी क्या कहानी है। मीठी न तेरी कहानी, आंसू में कलम हो, तेरा दर्द न जाने को, तेरा दर्द न जाने को। चुपके चुपके रोने वाले रखना छिपा के दिल सारे। चुपके चुपके रोने वाले रखना छिपा के दिल सारे। ये पत्थर का देश पकड़े कोई
Some holes there. Where the head going, mate? Where the head going? On the side? Where the head going? I don't know where it is, sir. So you know where the head going, mate? Huh? Do you know where the head going?
But this is one direction normally. It does dig like this. So on head faces so, but how very in one direction I would.
Nobody broke down that much. Anybody have a light? Anybody have a light there? Go light when?
Gotta block it right down.
Yeah, we are move it. I don't think I go like it out. Yeah. We go like it when they are finished up. Right?
That goes on top of the bridge.
On top of it? Alright. What do you have? You guys going to help me line up? How are we going? Which line up? Eight to do this one.
Tava fome there if you want to go. Wait a
obviously.
Da man får en viss picture
Na boss man boy.
Hey, John, it's a picture.